Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a Beyond the Summit presentation of the Red Bull Battlegrounds American pre-qualifier. Whoever wins the conclusion of this tournament will be going in to face the invited teams in the American qualifier for the event that's going to be taking place on land soil in California. So obviously all of the teams involved want to get to the first place and make their way to the big event, but at least for now we're still in the earlier stages to make their way there. So what we're looking at here is Leviathan Dota versus the VoidBoys. This is the first game of the best of 3 series. It's been a long day of casting for me, to be honest with you guys. I've actually taken care of 8 games now consecutively, a few solo casts in there even, so moving forward with this one, hopefully you'll forgive me, but at least I know the teams pretty well. I'm a very big fan of Leviathan. They have a great attitude about the game. Even got to cast with Flying Zebra just a few hours ago, so got some insight on how he feels about the game. But here it is, VoidBoys drafting up some of their classic ganking combos, and it's going to be a fun match. I can guarantee it. But thanks for tuning in once again. I myself am Blaze, and I'm going to be joined by none other than Skim Gaming. How's it going, man?
Hey, man. Long night ahead of us, but it's going to be worth it. I mean, Leviathan versus VoidBoys. I think when you're an NA Dota fan, which I presume most listeners are, you're going to be really excited about this one because both teams are looking towards breaking, this sort of threshold from a tier 2 team to at least tier 1.5 team. So, if they're not already there, so both teams, they will just want to make sure to get into that main competition to compete against these others. I'm not really sure anybody has immediate ambitions towards the LAN finals, but just to be able to, get some good practice against the likes of Team Tinker, or even, I believe, is Evil Geniuses in this? I don't know, but
so.
No, actually they aren't. But just to be able to get this sort of practice in these sort of officials and just get a bit more exposure, it's going to be great for both teams. So a lot at stake here. There's also a bit of prestige between both teams. Obviously, you kind of want to, you want to establish yourself as the better NA team. So going to be good. And compared to the other best of 3, we've just witnessed a few different drafts as well. Sniper being led through, as well as the Storm Spirit.
Yep. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how these two kind of combine together here. Sniper definitely can be played in multiple roles, so we could see maybe a mid lane Storm or safe lane Sniper, or vice versa. But the big deal here is these are just completely different heroes to gank up. The Storm Spirit is one where essentially you want to lock him down, prevent him from getting a single cast off where he's going to be able to get out of there. The Sniper, it's less so that you have to lock him down because one slow and he's in a bad position, but you also have to be able to do enough damage that he can't turn the damage against you and you be forced to retreat, because the second you start running from a sniper, that's the second you get peeped. So yeah, you want to be able to commit, and it's kind of a different context for each. But it's kind of surprising to me that they picked the Storm Spirit into the Night Stalker here. Venge Night Stalker opener. It's very clear that... Oh, wait, actually, the second pick. So they got... It was Venge, then Sniper Storm, and then the Night Stalker, which makes sense. Okay. So, essentially, the Venge Night Stalker, this is most likely a support Night Stalker, perhaps offlane, but in either case, they're going to be looking to get a lot of early kills. Just Magic Missile Void, find those openings, get those kills. He kind of functions similar to the Ogre Magi, but he gives a lot more vision when it comes to the nighttime. Darkness takes away vision from Leviathan. Obviously, the 1800 night vision gives it to the side of VoidBoys. And these are just going to be heroes that create space so that, in the end, their carry can get very farmed. Because Pat Soul or not, the VoidBoys are still going to be looking to play the late game. That's how they've learned to play around their teammates, and it's probably still going to be what they focus on, even though they do have a stand-in here.
Yeah, and what you see a lot actually is the Treant Protector being picked into the Night Stalker, because as you mentioned, the Night Stalker provides a lot of night vision for the team, but he also takes away a lot of vision from the opposing team if he puts on the darkness. So eventually, the Treant Protector is going to have his Aghanims. He is going to have those eyes in the forest, and making sure that, in the late game, you at least have a bit of vision on the map. You make sure that the Sniper is going to feel a bit more safe, and it's just in general a very good pick as well, because it's a very defensive support. We're going to make sure that if the Vengeful Spirit and the Night Stalker do gank aggressively early on, you have the Living Armor to support somebody, or even the Leech Seed if he's nearby.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Treant's probably one of the better heroes of just breaking down these kinds of ganks with the low multi-instance damage gank potential. I mean, obviously the Zeus, he's got a couple of instances when you count the static field taking down some stacks, but otherwise, yeah, between the Venge and the Night Stalker, they're not going to find as many kills just due to the living armor alone. Batrider is actually going to be one of those heroes that could do well against the Leviathan lineup, so they just pick it up for themselves. It isn't the best in the sense that it can be swapped out by the Venge. They can break the lasso pretty easily that way, but you're still able to get a hero that overall performs really well. We've seen Jenkins do a lot of work with, and yeah, most importantly, it would have been too good against their team for them to let through further. So they pick that up for themselves, and you have to question, where do VoidBoys go from here? Like, they're pretty sure they're going to take the Zeus into a core role, the Venge Night Stalker into the supports, but where do they, what does the stand-in feel comfortable playing as a carry? What do they feel like they're going to be able to out-tempo a sniper while still being able to deal with the threats that a storm with living armor brings?
It's a good question. Considering the carry you're gonna have, he kind of has to get into the range of the sniper as well. Like, you want to get into there. You need to be able to jump the sniper, but at the same time you don't want to be too squishy to get picked off by the Batrider and the Storm Spirit, who are going to be very active. So something like a PA may be able to put out enough aggression towards the sniper, but at the same time is also very susceptible to aggression from the Storm Spirit and the Batrider. So kind of have to be very careful in that regard. Maybe something like a Void, the Chronosphere, to provide your team with a lot of control in those team fights, making sure to lock down Storm Spirit, Sniper maybe at the same time even. And if you do have the Chronosphere up, you're going to be able to pump out a lot of burst damage from the Zeus as well. So maybe something like this, but at the same time, Void and Night Stalker don't really go too well, just because Night Stalker, you know, kind of gets easily trapped in that Chronosphere as well.
And you just gotta imagine that if a Void does get a really good initiation, but Treant's not in it, he can just give living armor to whoever is going to be hit, and that's still going to take a really long time for him to be beat down. I mean, Void runs a lot of attack speed, but his damage is mostly through the bashes. Nyx Assassin is going to be their selection, and this is just primarily a counterpick to the Storm and Batrider. Both of them are intelligence heroes with decent int gains, so the mana burn later in the game is going to be great, but most importantly, it's going to have Spike Carapace early, and that means the Batrider can't use Firefly to go for lasso jumps, because when he does that, he gets hit by the Spike Carapace, locked in place, and suddenly the Batrider gets killed before even leaving with the person that he's trying to take hostage.
Yeah, and it also fits naturally into VoidBoys lineup. I mean, they have so much gank potential right now. You will always, I mean, if you're a Leviathan at this point, like 10 to 15 minutes in, you're always going to feel the threat of a Nyx Assassin just being around you. And if he does jump you, you'll always have the Zeus to back him up. You have to rely on a Night Stalker to also be very mobile and very flexible as well. So VoidBoys is a very gank heavy lineup, but I feel they need a carry to fall back on if these four gankers don't work out and don't succeed in the mid game. I think they need a carry to fall back on, and that's why I think something like a Void could work out. And yeah, you see Leviathan already banning out a Spectre, who's also a very good hard carry, who would fit this lineup as well. Just haunt in and even be part of those early aggression team fights. If
it was Pat Soul playing for VoidBoys instead of 747, then I would say that would have had to been a phase 2 ban, just because Pat Soul loves this hero so much, plays a really good one, and VoidBoys in general, again, know how to play around it. But they're going to have to go for the Phantom Lancer instead, which isn't too bad, but they're already switching up roles, as you can see here. Who's going to be playing what? Mercy Please taking the Phantom Lancer is not his natural role, but it's going to be what he has to fill in this case with the Zeus stand-in. So we're still not sure, based on that fact, whether the Nyx is going to be support the Zeus, the Night Stalker. I think Night Stalker is, just because Fly's picking it up, but you never know. There's a nice little mix here. There's 4 heroes that could technically support, and that's the beauty of the current metagame, is there's flexibility is key. But Leviathan, they're pretty clear-cut. Jenkins, off-lane Batrider, Shibby, mid-storm, and, of course, Shredder, safe-lane sniper. So, Treant Protector, Venomancer, duo as support. Haven't seen Venomancer in a while, and just by my general mantra, one thing that I very frequently express is how much I hate support Venomancer, how weak and how low damage it feels. But in this draft, they can do a lot of work with it. I mean, you have your sniper right behind that Venomancer, so if you get a Gale, it doesn't matter if the Venomancer can't get damaged, the sniper's hitting you from half the map away the entire time you're trying to run. The only problem... oh, that's not good, but yeah, the only problem that they have is canceling TPs. VoidBoys will be able to TP out of a lot of this stuff just because only the Batrider and the Storm Spirit can really prevent that until the Overgrowth comes out. And Yeah, Shredder Dota, we need to pause after a draft. Our internet is acting up, and we're resetting the IP. Hopefully that's a lot more streamlined process than some ISPs make it out to be.
Yeah, coming back to the support Venomance, I agree with you. I think in this draft it works well. There's so much aggression coming out from VoidBoys. If Flying Zebra is ever in a position where he's just dropping his ultimate, he can punish this aggression so much because it's slowly going to take them down. And as you said, there's always going to be the sniper in the background just, you know, hitting them and hitting them and hitting them. So I think this can work out, but at the same time, as you said, there's no disable on these two supports, at least not until level 6, and that can hurt them in the laning phase, I think. Depending on how aggressive VoidBoys is going to play this, they may be able to hunt them down, and Leviathan may only be able to watch, depending on how, you know, how fast they can react to this sort of aggression coming out from VoidBoys. But again, it also comes down to the laning stage. Is VoidBoys going to run traditional lanes, you know, having, you know, Phantom Lands in the safe lane, supported by the Vengeful Spirit, or are they even going to go aggressive?
It's hard to say. I think the Nyx is going to be off lane. I think they're going to go for the defensive try with the PL. I mean, you bring an interesting point with the aggressive potential. I mean, again, the Venomancer doesn't really contribute much in terms of damage in that setting, only in terms of disable. Or yeah, locking people down, keeping people in a certain place. Also, the Treant Protector doesn't really want to go for Leech Seed level 1 unless he's having a lot of trouble zoning. He'd much prefer to go Living Armor level 1 and allow the Storm Spirit to trade more efficiently on mid. And just as we're given that context, maybe VoidBoys could try for the aggro. But what I would rather see is them start off defensive with Phantom Lancer up top. Nyx start getting some experience on the bottom lane before the Creep Equilibrium starts getting out of control. And then see the Venge and the Night Stalker smoke gank bottom. So they don't naturally like go there initially because that's too obvious. But they surprise attack from a flank. And getting the Venge, Night Stalker, and Nyx to collaborate in that time frame is going to be netting some kills.
The only reason I'd see an aggressive movement coming out from VoidBoys being good is just the fact that you have a Nyx assassin who can dictate the pace of the game, just because it's a very strong counterpick against the lineup from Leviathan. So if you give him an early and a really good start into something like, I don't know, like 10, 11 minute Blink Dagger or something, I think he can create a lot of space for the rest of his team, especially the Phantom Lancer. And I feel like the Phantom Lancer still offers a lot of stuff, even if he doesn't have as many items as you'd see from a safe lane Phantom Lancer. So I don't know, I think they could go aggressive, but yeah, I guess it also comes down to just if they feel comfortable with this, what their game plan is. Maybe just do the traditional stuff and play it safe. Yeah. No need to play it aggressively. The
problem I see with that, as far as how it would break down, is essentially all Leviathan have to do, if they are going 3v3, is hide under tower. If they have Gale level 1 under their tower and Shrapnel as well, there's no way VoidBoys can dive. Night Stalker's a great hero for tower diving, 5 armor, almost 600 HP. But if he gets hit by a Gale or a Shrapnel, like, suddenly you're just stuck, and they just go hide, turtle up in the little tree line nook down south of the tower. There's no way you enter that territory. It's just too much coverage between these slowing heroes. So I feel like kind of occasionally getting involved there, waiting for them to push out a little bit, rather than committing their full time is going to make the difference. But we'll see. I'm seeing some interesting cosmetics on Vengeful Spirit. Haven't seen the Umbral set there before, but that's pretty neat. No enemies swapped according to the gem, but those reset all the time, so who knows. Dedication 0.
Very fancy.
It's actually a gift with the dedication 0.0. Might be an emoticon with a little face, but yep. Florida internet having some issues. They recently posted a video of their gaming house, and it looks pretty fancy, but obviously the infrastructure is the important thing.
Yeah, a gaming house without proper internet is actually not that great, to be honest. But of course, I mean, they just moved in, I believe, so it's gonna take some time to figure things out. Leviathan, I like their dedication to the game. I like how they approach this whole "hey, we want to go pro" sort of thing. I think they're doing a really good job at making sure that they market themselves as players, as a team, properly, and doing this sort of stuff, you know, like posting on Reddit and even in game, just, you know, having their Twitter names up. I think it's just these little things that make me think, yeah, they're cool guys. They know what they're doing. They have good hearts.
So in the Dire base, there is an effigy. It's a Frost effigy for a Tiny, and I have absolutely no idea what pose that's supposed to be. Is that like a toss animation with the Tree being too big thanks to the Tiny being at his lowest level of grow. Like, it's just so weird.
Oh my god, yeah, what is this? Like, what? What? it looks like an axe dunk, but
yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think it's a level 0 grow Tiny with an Aghanim Scepter tree, and he's tossing or something, or I don't know. It's weird. But anyways, we've talked plenty about the draft and the openers, but let's see how the smoke plays out. This could really dictate what their decision-making process is. I've got boots first on Fly, the Night Stalker, as well as Omega Poner, the Nyx Assassin. And they're smoking up to maybe find a pickoff on Storm Spirit, who's going safe lane. He's got the Soul Ring recipe. You don't take that to the mid. And he is going to be trying to play it safe, but if they just catch wind of him, if they place an Observer Ward out here, they would easily find that first blood. But they go right on by, place an Observer Ward that blocks out the hard camp so that cannot be stacked up. And now they're kind of exposed. Oh, if they just wait here, see Flying Zebra walking right up, but no.
Not patient enough.
And even then, he doesn't go that route. He just kind of tiptoes around. So Bounty Rune's going to go bottom to VoidBoys, and they're going to be able to snag it up top for Leviathan.
But yeah, if you just look at the item builds, you can see that it's just going to be classic laning from VoidBoys. I mean, Omega Pauna did opt for those boots. It's mercy, please.
Yeah, it'll be okay. Doppelgangers are a good spell, but otherwise going into the river against triple shrapnel is pretty suicidal.
This is scary, man. Triple shrapnel is super scary, but Shredder was a bit hesitant to throw out the triple shrapnel, of course. I mean, do want to keep that for the laning stage, and just scaring the Phantom Lancer away is already good enough. Securing that Bounty Rune, which goes to the Sniper and one to the Zeus, so it's quite even in this mid lane.
Yep. I like that Flying Zebra's courier is in fact a zebra. Just chilling out there. That's going to deliver some tangos out to Shredder, and he's going to have that 4 tango stack to sustain pretty well against the Arc Lightning. In the meantime, 747, he's got a bottle already, thanks to the Bounty Rune he picked up down bottom. Up top, we actually have some kills coming out. This is not where I expected a Treant Protector. Duoing up with the Batrider, getting the Leech Seed plus the Sticky Napalm to just sock it to PL.
This reminds me of a dual lane that that C9 likes to run, which is Omni Knight and the Batrider. So much slow and so much punching potential. But yeah, and they play it very aggressively as well. I mean, look at them. They're just contesting the pole.
Punch them. I don't know. I mean, they're just doing whatever they want to. I mean, what can the Ceros do at level 1? Without a Spirit Lance available, it's just like Mercy Please doesn't contribute to it. Fly, obviously getting bullied during the daytime. Just nothing good. Up top, or sorry, bottom lane, we actually have the Venomancer using the level 1 passive to actually zone back Omega Poner. Despite a lot of base HP regen on the Nyx Assassin, the Flying Zebra's Poison Sting still harasses him pretty well, and he's going to kind of trade hits with him here with his 3 base armor. So all in all, Omega Poner has to stay back, doesn't get to mess with Storm at all, even with that mana burn, as he'd love to kind of open that up pretty early against the Storm. But in the end, it's going to be Bounty Rune most likely for the Venomancer bottom, and then we'll see what spawns top.
And in the mid lane, it's a very equal exchange. I mean, both heroes are just going to go for those last hits. They're not really harassing each other too much.
Ooh, this is interesting. Sorry to interrupt you, but Haste Rune coming out from the Nyx Assassin. Could he actually get that courier?
Top. Ooh, very close. Stick charges just putting him above killing range.
Yeah, all over the place, man. I mean, there's actually going to be the chase onto Jenkins, 1 Void away from the kill, but it's on cooldown now. Jenkins will walk away, and Omega Poner was this close to snatching the courier, but it's already made its delivery, and it's actually just back at the fountain. He got the second Wraith Band out, so Nyx wastes time, even with the Haste Rune. Fly with that Bounty Rune, trying to continue to flank to gank, but Jenkins, okay for the moment, can Firefly over the trees in the worst case, though the Lance connects.
Some good harassment coming out here. Yeah, the laning stage quite action packed almost. No kills, but they're all on the verge of getting a kill. Everybody's just looking for blood, and that 1 ward on the bottom lane, on the bottom rune, actually saved them the courier. Otherwise, I'm sure that he would have gotten it. And unfortunate timing for Jenkins.
Oh, man, having some issues here, IP-wise, but yeah, I guess that's one drawback of having everybody in the same place, is you have the same vulnerabilities, and that can be a problem if you all run different services that give IPs away, but it looks like they're good to go for now. Just looking at the Dire Courier, for example, you're talking about how low people are. Britzy Please is quarrying out at Sav as well as 4 tangos, and even Fly on the Night Stalker is actually getting some tangos for himself. So they're really all about just trying to stay in this top lane and keep forcing the Batrider back. But I just don't know how it's going to work out. If they start playing passively, they've got all the defensive tools to just make them waste the resources they've gained.
But at the same time, I mean, if you just look at the last hits, like, sure, they're annoying them a lot, but Batrider is actually not farming too well. Whereas PL, he's actually getting a decent amount of last hits, considering how much he's getting harassed. And I think the laning stage is fine for both teams, quite frankly. Oh, top lane, Jenkins very deep again.
It's okay. I mean, like, they have to have at least 2 heroes there to connect, and although the Venge gets in range, it's not really something where you want to chain back-to-back disables. Actually, bottom is where it might happen. They do get the stun out on Omega Opponent, but he's Galed, he's Stinged. Yeah, he's going to be able to walk away, and again, now he has a TP, so Shibby has the skill Vortex to cancel that. But otherwise, yeah, it's just trying to force the Nyx back, delay that level 6. Because as soon as Omega Opponent gets Vendetta, then he's going to start ganking. He's going to be forcing Leviathan supports to buy a bunch of Sentry Wards they don't want to, and that just taxes their potential income. Along with that, the Venomancer is pretty squishy, and the second the Nyx finds a Vendetta kill, not only does he waste their gold, but he just takes it from them directly.
Yep. But I think they're doing a good job at making sure that Omega Pona doesn't get too much out of this lane. I mean, they're doing as much as they can with just 2 heroes, and he has eaten through a lot of his region. In fact, he doesn't even have anything left anymore. I believe he went back to base at some point as well. So Omega Pona, sure, he's level 3.5, but, you know, he can't actually keep Shibi from farming at all. In fact, Shibi's actually trying to bully him out of the lane. But now that the lane is getting pushed in, because of a failed pull-through, I believe, it's going to be a lot of XP for Omega Pona. Suddenly, level 4.
Yep, Batrider also making his way there, 4.5. He did go back to the jungle to find some farm in that territory, of course, dropping very low in the process. But do you think he's just going to go straight for the Blink Rush? I mean, he obviously has the option to go for Tranquil Boots here, but that would mostly be for if he wants to go back to the top lane, where the tree seems kind of fine.
I think you can rush the Blink Dagger, honestly. But at the same time, it kind of depends on his playstyle. I haven't watched Jenkins Batrider too often, but for example, Bone 7, he likes to also just, you know, go Boots of Travel, depending on the state of the game. If you think that the Blink Dagger is not gonna yield immediate results, might as well just go for something else.
Oh, Fly
bottom lane
going to gank Shibby here. There is the Ball Lightning available. He is silenced up for a decent period of time. He Soul Rings for that mana, and he's gonna get bursted down. The Soul Ring is a huge misplay as he thinks he's just
in the mid lane though. Smart play. Very smart play from Shredder. He finds the kill on the Zeus because he knows that Zeus was paying attention to the bottom lane, and wow. Good play from both sides, honestly. I mean, knowing that they can gank the Zeus just basically as soon as the nighttime hits. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, ganking up the Storm Spirit rather, but the Crippling Fear definitely causes him some issues, but I think the big mistake was him using the Soul Ring to get the Ball Lightning mana when, you know, he still had half that mana pool. You can actually Ball and then Soul Ring, and it's fine, but in this case he couldn't get that ultimate off because of the silence, and that extra 150 HP was sorely needed there. So in the end they do get a kill the other way against the Zeus, which is great for Shredder, but he still has to back because as it is, like, he's one Lightning Bolt from death. So solo kill as it may be, he's got to salve up, and it wasn't First Blood. That was killing off the Storm, who, generally speaking, shouldn't die, but obviously the silence makes that a different story.
Also very fortunate for Leviathan that Jenkins was just in base when the Zeus ult hit. I mean, look at him, he's very low again. Yeah. Like, if that Zeus ultimate hits while Jenkins is doing this, that's an easy double kill. And on the bottom lane, I like the stance from Fly. He's just staying there, playing aggressively, just, you know, asserting dominance. Come at me, Storm Spirit. I got it in the silence for you. And, well, now that the lane's pushed in, it's actually not effective anymore.
So, we're going to see items coming out actually pretty soon here. Urn of Shadow is going to be up for the Night Stalker, presumably. Yeah, that's going to be going down bottom. The Phantom Lancer, he's got his Ring of Aquila, probably into Treads next. The Arcane Boots are finished for the Nyx Assassin, and the Zeus, he's going to be building up that Soul Ring perhaps next. He's got the Arcanes and the bottle for now. And as far as vision goes, right now, the Radiant side are pretty much blind. They have a Plague Wards. They have the bottom lane ward, which is helping out with the Night Stalker pressure. But otherwise, they're going to be having some vision issues here, and that'll be most notable in the mid lane. If this Living Armor is not enough to keep Shredder alive, it's going to be a 2v1 dive pretty soon.
Yep.
Going in on a Mega Poner, the Expect Carapace only does so much here, and he's going to be pulled back very shortly. The Mana Burn hurts, but Omega Poner is just caught out too far, and he will be going down.
Fly gets scouted out. Zeus ult does some damage, but it's not going to be enough. Living Armor is there, and Fly is not going to pursue it. Speaking of pursuit, Shredder in the mid lane, he's going to find an ult on Zeus once again.
Oh, nice. Very, very nice. Just showing the opportunity to just jump in, do the shrapnel right clicks, and that Zeus is squishy with his armor. Now Fly in a bad spot. They will snatch the regen rune up, and they will just keep the napalm flowing. Along with the Leech Seed, Night Stalker caught out of position. Technically could have TB'd immediately, but he doesn't realize that there's no flame break on the Bat Rider. So he actually just goes down, and yeah, it's actually a stock on Shibby down bottom. Vendetta, Strike, Mana Burn, but in the end, outside the kill range.
Yeah, 4-1 on the scoreboard for Leviathan. Very good reaction from them as well. Just, you know, seeing that there's a lot of focus on the bottom lane. There's nobody actually paying attention to the mid lane whatsoever. So Shredder is going for these sort of kills, which, in my opinion, he shouldn't be able to find, quite honestly. And, well, Jenkins, if he wants to go for it, his Blink Dagger is almost his.
Yeah, and I presume that's going to be definitely what he's gunning for. You wouldn't save this much gold up. BOTs, like you said, has some value, but the Blink Dagger is going to get him a kill instantly, and that's kind of what he's looking for here. In the meantime, the top lane does get pushed through. Just the Ring of Aquila, the Vengeance Aura push. They take that tower down, no problem at all. And this frees up the Venge to do other things. Like the Peel, he's going to farm up the lane when it's pushed out, but otherwise he'll stick to the jungle. And the Venge can be bothering the mid lane or somewhere else.
Yeah, and I think she should, quite honestly. I mean, I think it was a good decision to make sure, okay, PL gets his farm, Venge pulls a bit here and there, gets a bit of experience as well, and they take down the tower. But I think at this point, Venge should make sure that the Zeus actually gets a bit more farm as well.
Just needs the swap. Once she gets level 6, then she's going to be involved much more so.
Exactly. But looks like they're going to stick to their same lanes. In fact, Venge is going to farm up solo on the top lane, PL rotating into the jungle, and Omega Pona, he finds level 6 and immediately Vendetta's up. Nice. Actually, he's level 7 already.
Yeah, that's the second Vendetta of the game, but even still, wants to try to make something of it. Treant Protector only has 2 armor, so this right click will hurt, but in the end, he still has 800 HP. Gonna go for it anyways. The Ghost Slow setting up a little bit more kill potential. And the Zeus ulti is gonna finish the job. Now Fly TPing to the mid lane. There's a tower dive coming through. Bat Rider, Lasso, Assassinate, Mercy Please. Cannot doppel in time and he'll go down. Gets the lance against Jenkins, so he's down to 13 HP. But calculated again, he survives. And Juan is taking a lot of damage here. Oh, the Plague Ward's ticking away, forcing him back. Shredder gets the haste rune. Could he do something with this? Trying to go. Just needs a little bit of vision. Right now he sees nothing from the low ground. The Plague Ward scouts it out, but a little too late. So, in the end, 5 for 2 is your kill score in total, favoring Leviathan dramatically.
Jenkins, what a player. After that Zeus ult, and when Phantom Lancer turned around for Phantom Lance, Jenkins was down to like 20 HP max, and he ran towards the Zeus because he didn't know the Zeus was there, and he immediately blinked out as soon as he saw the Zeus and TP'd out. Wow. And God, he very clutch play, and yeah, the Blink Dagger immediately netted him a kill, and they didn't get any return whatsoever. So Leviathan looking good.
Yeah, unfortunately they do have obviously some intermittent connectivity issues, which can happen to the best of us, and that might be affecting their play a little bit, but right now, I mean, their early game is strong. How do you think the mid-game and late-game transition look if the status quo remains the same?
Quite frankly, I think VoidBoys need a better mid-game, because I think their lineup is not really built towards the late game. If you look at heroes such as Night Stalker, I think they need a really strong mid-game to transition properly into the late game. Like, you need kills, you need to make sure that you find a lot of openings, you don't really farm with a Night Stalker. Night Stalker is a horrible hero to farm with, and if you don't find those kills, if you don't find those openings, he's gonna be dead weight in the late game. Especially if he can't even find an Aghanim Scepter, which he's probably gonna find at some point. The same I think applies to the Nyx Assassin almost. Like, you don't really farm with these kind of heroes. You find kills. You don't farm in lane. You don't farm jungle. You find kills. You want to make sure that you create space for the Phantom Lancer, who likes to farm, who likes to take down towers. So I think VoidBoys, they need to, gather their thoughts, collect themselves, and go like, hey guys, okay, things aren't really going as they are for us right now. Just play it safe, play it cool. Maybe get a few more items up. Maybe get a Blink Dagger on Mega Paula, and then regroup and go for another kill again.
As it stands, though, I mean, the range of initiation for Leviathan, just they're able to get the jump so far this game pretty well, and the lasso isn't that long of a cooldown. 90 seconds, they'll be able to find another opportunity. And right now, most of VoidBoy's vision is invested bottom. I mean, you look at this Observer Ward, it'll see if the Storm makes a move anywhere else, or the supports move in to help the Storm and gank bottom, but it doesn't show anything for like the Batrider moving in towards the mid lane and finding the kills they have been so far. Along with that, the tier 1 tower is pretty low, so winning these fights, we're going to see more and more opportunities for Shudder just to finish that tower off, and from there it's hard to get back to the battle, because that is obviously the most central tower for their... Oh boy.
Oh,
so
he can't reconnect. But yeah, I like those two wards coming out from the dire side, though, because it gives a lot of vision over the supports as well, because usually the supports are going to be at the bottom lane, making sure that the Storm Spirit is safe, even farming up a few camps as well, pulling maybe, and you usually see at least a bit of rotation. That one ward on the left also sees or should see the Batrider farming when he's in the jungle, so I like those wards, and I think at the time when they placed them, they made a lot of sense. Obviously now they're a bit wasted, because they kind of stack up vision where they don't really give any vision, or any information, I should say. So now they're bad, but I think at the time when they placed them, they made a lot of sense.
Sure. The state of the game definitely has changed since with that last fight, and where Leviathan can get aggressive now has shifted quite a bit. So, it seems like it's going to be an extended break here, so I'm going to leave you guys with this effigy for the moment, and I'm actually going to grab some more caffeine, because it's been already like 8 hours of casting. We possibly have 3 more DDoS-filled games ahead, so I'm gonna grab a can of pop real quick, and Skim can break it down a little bit more for you guys.
I'm also actually going to grab a drink.
Okay, chill out with Kunkka. We'll be back in just a minute or two. And at least I am back. We're going to be resuming some commentary here. We do have the option of going to a break, but I have it in my hopes that Newsham will be coming back in, and I also know that the second I go to the break, we'll be right back into the game. So it just seems better, more prudent just to wait at least another minute or so and see if that'll work out. Otherwise, we'll go back to some music. But Yeah, at least for right now, we've got...
Dude, hide the minimap. Hide the minimap.
Yes, for the past 5 minutes, I'll go back in time and hide that minimap. But as we've got some effigies. They're fun. Wow.
I think outside of that tiny effigy, there's actually not any good one. Not even a good inscription. I'm actually kind of disappointed.
I'm okay with Captain Kunkuk and U-Force. It's not bad. Should be doing.
Oh wait, I only checked out the dire actually.
Okay, well yeah, you're getting half your frame of view there. You just dire bias.
that is genius. Okay, that's genius. I take everything back. That's genius.
So there you go, and yeah. Okay, so because of the extended pause time, there's a minor advantage given to VoidBoys in that they get to choose side and pick. It's kind of just a minor penalty that they don't want to obviously decide the game based on, but VoidBoys, they have to put up with this too, and this is quite frustrating.
What time is it for them now? I don't know. I am really bad with time zones.
It's just after 9 p.m. So they're on the same coast as I, down in Florida. I feel at one point, like, I don't know if it's during daylight savings time or something, but I feel like sometimes Florida's an hour different, but at the moment I think they're the same.
I don't know. I've worked with Ghost Gamers for such a long time, and actually I think I should know, which time zone is what timing, like the differences between time zones, but I just never bothered to learn it.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if people just kind of go by like universal time or something like that, then maybe it'd be a little bit better, at least for online interactions. We kind of get a different viewpoint on it because we do so much international stuff. There's a lot of people who don't do any business or activities outside of their own time zone, and that's kind of like, why would you bother learning anything but your own under those contexts? But we have a different thing. We have a more global understanding of all these crappy time shifts. But reconnecting now. We're getting back in. Tree and Protector hype.
Don't jinx it, man. Don't jinx it.
Tree and Protector is logging in. It will only take 30 seconds. Countdown in chat. If I jinx it enough, then it'll go back the other way. It'll overflow on the jinxing, and we'll be back in.
He random?
Random loading screen. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but he cycles through all of them, and boom, he's in. That was nice. Some people might have typed 30 that fast. I'm sure there's some quick fingers there. Alrighty.
Gonna get a game. It's gonna be interesting if Leviathan is gonna push down this mid tower. It's pretty low. There's a catapult as well. Sniper could technically go for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be put into deny range if this siege creep is hitting the tier 1, so you kind of have to go. But we'll see as we get the unpause going on. Game 10:50 in, and yeah, Card of the Catapult just beelines to the tower. He's like, yeah, screw these creeps. Drops it down to 150, but still out of the deny range.
Not in deny range. TP coming into the mid lane. Zeus resuming his position. Honestly, his farm is actually still not. It's still okay considering he died twice to the sniper. I think. I mean, he's still above the Storm Spirit. He did catch up in the jungle. I believe he farmed a stacked camp together with. Yeah.
He took a triple stack on the eastern side. Yeah. So that's probably where a lot of the income comes from. The rebound gold.
Omega Pauna being vendetted up, wants to look for a kill. Can you find the Storm Spirit?
Oh, he's actually going to find Jenkins. Oh, even better. Gets this combo. All 3 spells, and see about Rider. That Blink Dagger not going to help you once the Nyx Assassin finds his prey. So, Arcane bootsing it up, getting some bottle regen for the 12-minute rune. And Nyx will be on the hunt in just a short 30 seconds.
Okay. Nice deny with the ward from the Venomancer. They denied the war. They denied the rune.
Oh, nice play. Yeah, that's actually really good. We're going to see the tower drop into deny range as well. Fortification goes away, and Sniper is actually able to clean up that tier 1 tower. So, rune, as he said, was denied. Only the Venge able to pick up a bounty rune. And that means no bottle for you. Zeus is going to be just running on fumes as far as his mana pool goes. He's going to have to make the next few spells count. or he's going to eventually have to go back to base, which is not preferable when you're trying to make up for lost time. But smoke going to happen down bottom. It's a night stalker, not a day walker. And they're going to go in with Omega Poner first. The sentry ward's there. They see it just in time, and he's going to be able to ball all the way out. Beautiful sentry ward coming in from Leviathan, preemptively seeing this gank coming. That is exactly what you need to have happen, and only too late do they deward it.
Very good, such good awareness from Leviathan, and the Storm Spirit is going to get away scotch-free. Oh, scot-free. I like saying scotch-free, though. Sounds better. I don't know. But yeah. He's just back in the jungle. I think Fly knows that he's there, especially since he saw him with both wards, but can they do anything? Honestly, they need to jump him with the silence first.
So, Schroeder's just going to go ahead and free hit this tower. He's going to take this tower in no time at all with the Mask of Madness. Maybe Agi tries to be nice, bro.
They fight the silence, and yeah, Shivy's dead.
Okay, yep, they will clean him up, but it's a tier 1 tower for a Storm Spirit. I honestly think they'll take that trade any day of the week. Though the question is it technically a trade? Because the way I see it, with the Batrider and the Treant here, it's almost impossible to stop Shudder from taking this tower anyway. So it's kind of like they're just taking an option that's given to them, and they'll probably get a tier 1 in exchange too, as Mercy Please rotates bottom.
Yeah, and there's no way Leviathan can defend this. At least not the way they have been. Actually, they are going to TP in.
Oh. Lasso, where are they going to go? Going on to Fly. He's the one isolated, so they'll bring him out. Swan is not able to get the ultimate out, and now, Shrapnel and Assassinate, bringing down the Venge. Omega Poner gets a nice stun, but doesn't have enough mana to get out. Magic Wand, Vendetta, he needs it, he gets it, and the Sentry Wards are not there. The ball misses, and Omega Poner will be able to slide away, just barely.
I thought for sure they were not gonna defend this because they TP'd very late on both cores, like on the Batrider and on the Sniper. But well,
the one thing you just completely underestimated is how much a Treant Protector loves his tier 1 towers. Living armor the crap out of those things, just keep them alive forever.
And in fact, it's gonna be Leviathan that's gonna take out the tier 1 at the bottom lane here.
Yeah, so let's chew for her nil as far as towers go. They lost the Storm, but they obviously got more in exchange kill-wise. So 7-4 with the advantage, and like you said, VoidBoys' late game isn't all that convincing. Like once the Night Stalker has Aghanim Scepter, it's kind of scary because they have a lot more vision than you, and of course the Geometry Sight with that makes you have complete map control against this Batrider, but it still doesn't mean that you automatically win the fights. Leviathan are scaling well, they're getting good farm. And we're going to see Stormball in. This is very dangerous for him. He'll get silenced on immediately, so it's a kind of a suicidal feed against the Nyx, but it does get Shredder another kill.
Not worth it. Not at all. I mean, it was a cute play, I guess, because they had the Assassinate loaded up, but I guess he expected to be able to jump in and jump out again.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Kind of overestimating himself there, and definitely not a good trade. That does leave the lane for Fly to farm up a bit, and he desperately needs it, because look at his farm, it's not impressive at all. He has an Urn of Shadows, which I suppose is good, but kind of want treads, and at some point be building towards that Aghanim Scepter. On the Zeus. Was that just a scout? Yeah, probably.
I believe so. Flying Zebra's no, I mean, that's half the damage you need to bring him down, so. Yeah, I believe it's just to check things out, and immediately, this is the threat of scouting with your Zeus ulti, is immediately a smoke following it. So they're going to go 3-man smoke right down mid, and poor Standen is in very significant jeopardy, but he does fall back. Jenkins fire flying over the high ground. Dire don't see this, just barely out of the line of sight. And as a result, it's going to be just them kind of moving around, breaking through the smoke. But yeah, that is definitely the time that you have to be most wary, is when you scout with the ultimate. About 5 seconds after that, it's the highest probability of a smoke gate coming out.
Was definitely a nice move there, and a nice idea, but good awareness coming out from the Zeus, moving back. But at the same time, I guess he was also just grabbing his Yield Scepter, so maybe it was just fortunate timing for him. Blink, now up on the Nyx Assassin, so a lot of mobility coming out from VoidBoys, and I like this a lot. Immediately after the Blink, Omega Poner into the Vendetta. But again, there's that Sentry. Very annoying Sentry.
Yep, causing him some grief, and I don't think there's any other real item you go on Nyx Assassin first after your Arcane Magic Wand opener. Some people try to open Dagon, and generally speaking it just won't work at levels where they actually buy detection, because you're trying to run in to Vendetta and get the kill that way, and it doesn't work out. That the way that the Nyx Assassin gets to gank it now is smoking up with his allies. He can then just blink forward, get a good stun off like a lion would, and then just go Vendetta right click in the middle of the fight, and that works out perfectly fine. It's also worth noting the skill build of this offlane Nyx. He had a decent two options here: counter the Bat Rider harder or counter the Storm Spirit harder, and he went against the Bat Rider. Right now, the Spike Carapace really causes Bat issues, and he's going to be getting stuns on a lot of people with this max Spike Carapace. But it does mean that his mana burn not only has a 28-second cooldown, but only burns with a coefficient of 3.5. So later he'll get levels, he'll get kind of have his cake and eat it too. But for now, the decision was made, and the Carapace is what he has.
Oh, Shredder in the mid lane. There's a Night Stalker sitting right behind him.
Oh, double stun too. The Omega Poner blink just destroying him. Shredder almost survives because of living armor, but there's a Zeus ulti. Oh my gosh, that overgrowth. Locking them all in place. Shibby, can he turn it around? Omega Poner has Carapace cooling back down, and Shibby just gets out of dodge. So in the end, it's a tier 1 kill, and it's 2-0.
But yeah, back to the point you were making regarding the Nyx skill build. I actually think the Carapace is also good against the Storm Spirit, just because, I mean, if the Storm Spirit does jump on you, just being able to Carapace him down, like, if he can also just run into a Remnant, right? He's bound to drop a few Remnants in those team fights, so being able to return... Oh! Just missed the stun. Nice reaction from Shibby, though.
Yeah, try now here. The one problem, I'm trying to remember the mechanic, actually, between Ball Lightning and Spike Carapace. I know that he won't obviously get stunned by Spike Carapace, but does he actually, like, trigger the Spike Carapace if he hits him with the Ball Lightning? Does he trigger it and then become invulnerable to it and therefore make it useless, or does it just wait?
Oh, top rune first.
Yeah, we see.
That was some nice reaction.
There is a Yule's available. It's actually a swap down, and yeah, Zeus is actually fine. And Swan is dueling out with Jenkins. The magic missile almost makes it a favorable trade. There's the lightning bolt to actually make it worthwhile. The Bat Rider trades his life for the Venge thanks to a sacrificial swap.
Yeah, that was some fine reaction from both sides, actually, I think. Jenkins realizing, oh, there's a haste, immediately force stuffing into the range of that ult, and oh, Zeus getting scouted out by the Treant, and Shredder being scouted out by Omega Pona.
Oh, living armor's on cooldown for a few seconds here. They're gonna burst him hard, burst him fast, and there is a silence against Nusham to bring him low as well. He can't help the sniper, and he can barely help himself. Detection, I believe he was invisible at the time they started hitting him, but maybe I'm just getting graphical glitches. Oh no, it's Zeus ulti, Zeus ulti.
Yeah, exactly.
Of
they
course.
saw him with the Zeus ult.
So, yeah, it's getting late, guys. Sorry, there's a couple things that just go right by you. But Mercy Please is actually farming pretty well. Like, his farm was really understated when we had that long pause, but he's been pretty much just free farming since then. He actually gets to finish up BOTs, Yasha, and Diffusal, and this just means it's farm central for him.
I like this build up a lot. I mean, hasn't really been involved in anything. He's been untouched, basically. I mean, sure, he died once, but that was in the beginning, so he's farming it quite nicely. He's going for this, I guess you could call it glass cannon build, but, you know, again, nobody's touching him, nobody's trying to gank him. They're all focusing up on the Zeus or on the Nyx Assassin, so why not? I mean, just split pushing with this, and this is probably the most efficient build if you want to farm.
So, that's obviously what he wants to do. They have a Dire Observer Ward and a good defensive spot to cover that route, and they're also putting pressure out in the middle and bot lanes. That's important because it's essentially a 4 distract from 1 strat, where he gets to do his own thing, and these 4 heroes are the ones fighting it out. Sometimes they take unfavorable trades, but as long as the PL keeps farming, they're overall moving in the direction they want to. And we're going to see the movement forward from the Nyx Assassin. Vendetta is about to expire. And obviously this Observer was seeing everybody else as well.
Yep. I think he wants to jump the Storm Spirit, who is, by the way, farming up his Orchid, and I think he has it almost.
Yeah, pretty much. He's very, very close. The recipe will...
Oh no, actually he has the recipe if he wants it. Yeah. Looks like they're ready to go again. I think they know he's there, though, because obviously they see everybody else moving into the Radiant Jungle now, and... Oh, they scouted the ward. Yeah, I love this from Zeus. I love that they introduced this mechanic from the Zeus, being able to scout out the wards. Just adds another element of sort of, you know, being able to gain a bit of map control here and there. Shredder has the Sanjin Yasha. He's still topping the net worth chart, but very closely followed by the Phantom Lancer, who again, completely untouched. He's playing it very safe. Mercy Please knows how far he can extend, pushing out the lane and just, you know, playing very patient.
Oh, Shibby getting caught out here. They get the blink stun, they get the silence, and they get a very nice kill onto the Storm Spirit. That's actually critical, as they're going to take objectives on the back of that. Fly on the hunt, looking for more. Fast, even with the Poison Sting slowing him down, and yeah, they're going to be pursuing onto the top. As far as detection goes, they only have Zeus, so it's going to be difficult to see the Treant Protector and catch him out, but even still, they are looking for blood. They already found one really good kill, and they want to kind of take advantage of the time frame that Storm is dead. But the Shrapnel forces them back again, and back to farming, it would seem.
Yeah, that's the actual issue with the VoidBoy lineup. I mean, sure, they have a lot of gank, but they have very minimal push, especially against the Shredder or the wards, or even if Bad Weather sets up like some sort of Firefly trail. It's very difficult to push into that with VoidBoy's lineup, and I think they need to actually get more kills if they want to get an objective afterwards. And
put living armor on top of that. That essentially means that the little bit of damage you will put out before Shrapnel, Plague Wards force you back and kill all your creeps, that's going to be healed up very quickly. So the tier 1s may fall, but the tier 2, I believe, are going to stand for most of this game. Like, it's going to be very difficult for them to just cleanly push that. The PL can split push it with the Manta once he picks that up, but everybody else, it's really hard to commit when there's 2 or 3 heroes that are just great at turtling.
Oh, Shibby. Omega Pawna's gonna find him again.
I'm not sure if they have enough damage. They need the Zeus ulti. They just got it off cooldown, and boom! They kill off 2. Killing off both the Storm and the Veno, and guess who gets the kills? Zeus moving up quickly towards his level 16, as well, wants that Aghanim Scepter, and he has it actually.
No, he's going for the
Okay, he goes for the Bloodstone. Okay, the Ogre Club is for Fly. That's what confused me there. I assumed it was the same, but nope, he actually just goes for the Bloodstone, and that means that even if he gets caught in the lasso, he'll still be able to tank through. And that Veno ulti, it does a lot of team-wide damage, but guess who's got team-wide healing now when the Bloodstone is complete?
Yep, I like this build-up, honestly. I mean, I think it's pretty standard these days just to see the Bloodstone and the Zeus, but it makes so much sense as well because you need the region, you need the HP.
Night Stalker gonna go down. Chuan in the Shrapnel. One more right click will do it, and that's a double kill for Shredder. So both mids finding double kills, but one scale's a little bit harder. Like the Zeus, yeah, he gets Bloodstone. Later, the Ag's Refresher, maybe a Veil of Discord or a Blink, but as it stands right now, this Sniper is getting huge. Net worth 11.8, and he's going to be able to do a lot. He's going for BKB, so it does slow down his damage progression, but it allows him to actually survive in the fight, which is great. So I was theory crafting with Gods a couple weeks ago, when PL was actually put into Captain's mode, and we were trying to see if teams would really get a chance to feel him out and see if he could be put in competitive drafts. And the one thing that I really took note of is the potential for this Phantom Rush to just destroy Sniper. Like, essentially, he's the Sniper Slayer in my mind, where at 900 distance, you can get 800 movement speed that cannot be slowed. It can be mini-stunned, and that breaks it, and you have to wait for the 4-second cooldown. But otherwise, you're unslowable, charging at your target, and the Sniper just has no possibility of kiting you once that Scotty is complete. So I kind of feel like, yeah, right now he can farm. Right now, with the Manta, he can split push. But once he gets that Eye of Scotty, it's going to be very difficult for the Sniper to avoid him with anything other than a blink into the trees.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is actually a really good point that I've never really thought too much about, but the popularity of Sniper makes Phantom Lancer, yeah, such a good hero against that. And quite frankly, in the late game, if you have like 15 Phantom Lancers rushing towards you, it's going to be quite scary, honestly. And the fact that it also obviously procs on the illusions makes it so difficult to deal with that. And as a Sniper, yeah, sometimes or often you actually do see blink daggers, but it's not something you want, because as a Sniper you ideally commit 6 slots to damage. You sometimes even see in the very late game, in very dire situations, people giving up boots just to be able to have more damage output. And if you commit 1 slot for blink just to be able to, you know, evade the Phantom Lancer, it's gonna hurt your late game.
So Plague Wards scanning things out. The smoke kind of seems to fall to nothing. I mean, honestly, they're looking for opportunities so they can get a kill and then take Roche, but as it stands right now, they're trying to bait with the Phantom Lancer, and nobody's taking the bait. There's a regen run on the Storm Spirit, so it's certainly tempting, and they're now going to go with the Gem and the Firefly. up to the high ground here. Jenkins knows whether or not he's seen, and in fact, the Dire have no idea. And obviously Jenkins does. So he's actually going to get stunned. The Blink Carapace on the Firefly. Jenkins loses the gem, and it hits the deck into Omega Poner's hands. They drop a ward. They're going to clear out these Ancients, no problem. And that gem is just something that Batrider can't lose. I was talking with Flying Zebra in this in a previous game earlier today, and I was talking about, okay, does the gem ever go to the Batrider before he gets a BKB against quick disables? Like, it was in that game, it was a Lion. And he was like, no, you kind of have to get all your core items up first. Well, now we see them making that mistake themselves, and we see very quickly the Nyx able to punish it with that Max Carapace.
Yeah, and if you look at the Night Stalker, he's very close to his Aghanim's as well. So this is such a thing. Giving the Night Stalker a gem just before he gets an Aghanim's, when he gets that thing, it's going to be really rough for Leviathan to find any openings whatsoever, because then it's on. Then the global map hacking is back.
Brutal. It really is going to be impossible for Leviathan to get vision back in this map. And also, Nusham is looking for an Aghanims himself, so that implies that at some point in time, there's Eyes in the Forest are going to be in play, and right now the gem's in the hands of the Dire. Shibby going to get hit by 1 spell, 2 spell, and there's the 4th, as we had in the Zeus ulti into the count. But Nusham just unable to react in time. Now Dust comes out, but Omega blinks it. Perfectly fine.
Yep, I'm not even sure if they would have been able to find that kill. Not necessarily because they can burst him down, but because there's a Phantom Lancer just sitting here, and also being a very, like, he could obviously help him, so... Jenkins, regardless, is still going to look for a kill here, under the guise of Nature's Guise, but I doubt he's going to find anything here. And unlike VoidBoys, he doesn't have any sort of global backup, so he's definitely all by himself. What's he doing? Oh, he's going to look for the gem. I think he's going to Firefly back into the enemy base.
No. That, I mean, it's not. They're going to hold it. They're going to, of course.
He's doing it though. He's doing it though. I don't see.
He's smoking the fountain. You're absolutely right. He is smoking the fountain, hoping they left the gem there, but he's going to find an Iron Branch.
I mean, why wouldn't they hold the gem? They have a Night Stalker.
He's not playing against the techies here. He just wants to do a cool play, but it's not going to work out. The Gem of True Sight is in the hands of the Night Stalker, and you're going to have to do more than some cheeky smoke plays to snatch that one from them.
I mean, you can see right here that that Leviathan, they like to check out Reddit, because this is some Reddit play right here. Obviously, now that the Night Stalker does have his Aghanims, it's only natural for him to carry the gem. And look at this, the vision from
and that's why I kind of feel it's a little awkward. Is they wasted a smoke for that. Smoke is critical here. You see Omega Poner opening, nice Carapace will stun, and the swap out from Swan is able to get it the turnaround very, very quickly. Now trying to tee out, ball forward, Vortex will break down the TP, and that's 1 down. But if they can't kill the Night Stalker and take the gem, it's still not great position for them. They're going to take the Venge easy. She's a low HP hero. The Assassinate will bring her down, but mercy please, now hunting down Shredder. You can't run from this guy. You're getting purged. The right clicks keep coming, but his Phantom Rush is at level 3 instead of 4, and as a result, he can't stay on target. Double the cooldown. Either way, the Phantom Lancer does assist in the kill on the Treant Protector, and how would you say that fight played out overall?
It actually hurt him that he skilled stats over the Phantom Rush, because I honestly believe he would have gotten the kill otherwise. But overall, I think Leviathan can be happy with this, that they only lost 2 supports out of this one, because they got jumped. They didn't have any vision over it whatsoever. They still traded 2 for 2. I think they're going to be really happy with this, because I think VoidBoys was in a very advantage, like, they had the advantage here, because they were the ones jumping them. They have the better items right now. But the Sniper, I think he was in a really good position, and him getting away hurt VoidBoys a bit.
Yeah, the one thing to note is that Shredder did have to pop his BKB. That's a non-renewable resource with the 10-second charge, and that does hurt him a little bit. But overall, you're right. It could have been a lot worse. And going back to what I was saying before that gank happened, is actually using the smoke in that capacity. It's like, it could be such a cute play, and it would be insane to get the gem back. But by failing that, they waste one of their precious smokes, and smoke is the only way that they actually get in range of a Night Stalker without him knowing it during the nighttime. So it's really difficult now, because they have all their smoke out of stock, only 1 on the Venomancer, and that's their tool of getting in close proximity to the Night Stalker. Otherwise, he pops Darkness during the daytime, and at level 16, that's going to eliminate most of your potential to catch him off guard.
Yeah, they're gonna use that last smoke now. They want to make a play here. Probably want to go for the Zeus.
Yeah.
Can they? Yeah, they should be able to do this.
They can't hesitate too long though, because he's just gonna ulti soon, and then they're gonna. It's like, okay, everybody's missing. Pop the Zeus ulti, and oh, there's a gank coming top. So
that's too greedy. They want to go for this Phantom Lancer, but Mercy Please, he smelled it, and this is just good awareness from VoidBoys, and ultimately a bit too much greed from the Leviathan. Yeah, as you said, they waited too long. Zeus pops the ult, and the jig is up.
Another thing is the aggressive wards from VoidBoys. They have two great observers that show that nobody's farming the jungle. If they're not farming lanes and they're not farming their jungle, they're on the move, and that's just something that's easy to wait out.
And this comes back to the gem, because VoidBoys was able, with the gem, they were able to have this very aggressive array and just, you know, make sure that they get these D wards in as well, and deny the vision to Leviathan, because Leviathan didn't see anything. They had no idea where VoidBoys was. They just expected the Phantom Lancer to be in the dire jungle. So I mean, I don't want to point fingers, but this losing this gem, it was like the ripple effects afterwards. They're hurting Leviathan still.
Certainly, and it probably will be something they regret for some time. But now Megaponer walking right through the mid lane, and he's under a Sentry Ward, so they will get this kill without him even getting the Carapace off, and that is just Nick's losing momentum. Like, he's one that wants to stay on top of the game for as long as possible here, but as it is, he is at level 15, so he's got one level to go before he pretty much peaks in his skill damage potential. And then we look at his items. Great utility with the Blink, the Force Staff, Yules or Hex after that, but it's taking so long for him to be relevant here. Just 7,500 net worth. It's pretty much the same as the Bat Rider who lost the gem, but the Bat Rider does so much more naturally that I just feel like it's actually a problem if Nyx doesn't take wins.
Oh, and Leviathan, they want to go for Roche. And of course, VoidBoys, they have to know this, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, the nighttime vision, this is all dire vision that I'm looking at, but they see everything, even in the Roche pit, and they're actually going to catch out Bat Rider here. He can't hide on the high ground. It's just not going to happen. He does get forced down, but it's too late. Nice overgrowth, nice Poison Nova. But in the end, like, where do they actually get the kills? They're focused on the pit. Mercy Please. He doppeled to the high ground. Now he's taking some actually pretty heavy hits, and he's on the run in full. Yeah, the Poison Nova is going to bring him really, really low, and he's going to walk away at 680. So as far as the Roshan, they just did go to the Storm Spirit. Shibi's pretty happy about that one. And that's pretty much all that they're going to be able to accomplish from that. Another Gem of True Sight picked up by Flying Zebra, and we'll see what they can do with this one.
Pretty good play from Leviathan here, especially, of course, from the Treant. I mean, making sure to lock down any incoming here from VoidBoys. And, of course, Mercy Please being stuck on the high ground didn't help. If he had been in the pit, though, I'm not sure if that would have helped either, because he was actually all by himself. So if he had been in the pit, I'd argue he would have died, maybe even. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise. You don't really know. Overall, Leviathan, very happy with his trade. They need to keep making these sort of trades, because I mean, if you look at the graphs, they're not behind by too much, but it feels like they're behind by so much just because of the Night Stalker, the map control they have. And well, another smoking coming out from VoidBoys. They want to keep this aggression going.
Yeah, but they don't have darkness here, so they don't have the Zeus ulti just yet. So it's as far as getting in position to make the kills happen, they need to blink this fast. And nope, Plague Wards, stop and blink daggers left and right. It's going to be a failed smoke on the side of VoidBoys too. So they can play that game. They can play it passive when they know that people are off the map, and it just means passivity in general. Like this game, not even counting the pauses, is 35 minutes with 14 to 17 in your kill count, despite having a ton of heroes with tons of kill potential. Like the Storm Spirit, the Bat Rider, they love to kill. Night Stalker, Nyx Assassin, you can say the same. But as it is, both teams just kind of playing it smart, playing it safe. Now, smoking up. Oh, the Zeus ulti again.
You can't do this against the Zeus. Like, these obvious smokes, you can't do that against the Zeus. I mean, it was so obvious because nobody was farming at all, and they just all vanished from the map suddenly. And again, they have two pretty good wards on the side of VoidBoys. They know whenever they are in the jungle or when they aren't. So, yeah, pretty good awareness from them. But at the same time, Treant now has his Aghanims. It begins.
Does the darkness vision limiter affect the Eyes of the Forest?
I believe it does, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to affect everything, but Eyes are pretty new, and they're pretty unique as far as their potential there. So I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, me too. I'll just try to look at it whenever he pops darkness. But I believe it does. It would make sense if it does. But still, even regardless of that, the map is finally going to light up a bit. for Leviathan.
Yeah, just the smallest bit at the very least, and yeah, that's a big deal because we looked at the draft for VoidBoys. We knew that they were going to have tons of map presence come Aghanim Nightstalker, but the gem that we talked up a lot has given them just that much more concrete control of the map, and obviously the aspect of the Zeus ulti has diffused a lot of tough situations for VoidBoys as far as how they choose to take their engagements. So now, as it stands, we've got Aghanim Scepter on the Zeus, level 17. Let's just check a quick item check since I've been off that chart for a while now. Phantom Lancer did finish that Scotty, so now that Sniper Escape that we saw is going to be no more because he's got the max Phantom Rush, he's got the Eye of Scotty. And beyond that, we do have Ghost Scepter on the Venge, just in case it becomes relevant. The Treant Ags we already talked about, and probably a Mjolnir for a Shredder pretty soon. He's going to send out an item to the secret shop, and yeah, he needs the Mjolnir to deal with the PL illusions most efficiently.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's gonna, if he gets really lucky, it's gonna be really nice, especially considering, I mean, yeah, PL does have Scotty and Mental, but since he doesn't have the heart, his illusions aren't as tanky as they potentially could be. He's even opting for, I believe, well, yeah, an Abyssal. Like, he has a Basher right now. He's probably going to upgrade it into Abyssal. Oh. So not going to opt for a heart, maybe. I think a heart or even a butterfly would have been great.
I think Basher for now, then a tank item, and then go back for the Abyssal. It just seems like he needs that tank item to really stay involved.
Yeah, probably. And again, actually, Leviathan, I mean, you did mention it before, they did pick up another gem. But once again, they have it on the Bat Rider without him having a BKB.
Danger zone. That's where he's flying, but at least for now, he's just looking for an opportunity. PL farming top isn't so suspicious. They just try to clear out any wards on the defense with the sticky napalm, and there's nothing to see them, at least for the moment. This gives Yushan the opportunity to pop more eyes in the forest on the dire side, and that's more difficult to deal with. Now, kind of sneaking around here, they find plague wards, but no regular wards. Why are they lightninging if they have a gem right there?
I think it's
habit.
Like, yeah, I think it's a habit.
Like, Fly has a gem! Stop it, Zeus! You're giving somebody epilepsy for no reason at all.
I mean, be happy that they don't drop any sentries or anything.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen that stuff happen as well. It's just a habit, you know? You just, oh, this is a good place where the enemy could have warded. Dude, I have a gem.
Well, they see they're in the forest, so they cut that one down at least, and
it's a war of vision at this point.
Yeah, essentially. But they got the Quelling Blade, they find the trees. Aghanim Nightstalker is pretty much the counter to the Eyes of the Forest. He sees them all, he clears them all. Chop, chop, Timbersaw will be proud.
Imagine if killing an Eye of the Forest actually gives money.
No. What? That would be ridiculous. I guess I'd probably ask me that question 6 months ago, just say Observer Ward instead, and I'd still say it's ridiculous. So yeah, okay. Here we are.
But it's a very stale game at this point. Both teams are just content farming up. Although I think VoidBoys kind of want to kill, but they're not really sure how they want to approach it. Probably just waited for the nighttime actually. Well, actually it's darkness now. Wait, I didn't. Oh, I can't actually check. Give me an Eye of the Forest.
Oh, there's one down here. It seems to be the same. Well, actually, yeah. Is the circle tiny bit smaller? I don't know. It's weird.
I didn't pay attention to it. I'm gonna. Oh, this is Flying Zebra.
Oh yeah, he's gone. It's the Poison Nova on quite a few, so that's nice. But in the end, it doesn't matter too much. They're gonna just Earn of Shadows this up, and they're gonna push tier 2s off of it. The tier 2s that are so hard to bring down. Suddenly, all you got is Firefly, Shrapnel, and Living Armor to protect them. The Plague Wards is the key thing, I think, and that's not gonna be an option.
Yeah, and I think just the way they're doing it, by applying pressure to 2 towers, they're just making sure that they're definitely getting... Well, now that I say that, obviously VoidBoys rotate to another tower again. I think they should be able to get one.
Yeah, it's a little awkward, the timing here. They're a little bit worried, and no, it seems like they're going to leave them all alive. Their bottom lane is being split pushed by Shibby, so they're going to try for something sneaky there. There is no detection. Carapace, like you said, pop in the Remnant, and they're going to actually get the combo off. They get the Magic Missile, and they get the kill on the Storm Spirit. What a player, this Omega Poner.
By the way, I did pay attention to the Eye of the Force now. It actually does not... it's not affected by the darkness. Okay, so it's not really a unit, it's not really a ward. So I think the technical patch log change for darkness was affects units and buildings. Yeah, that could be
So
it.
that might be just saying, oh, well, this is something altogether different. This is trees. You don't change their trees vision.
Mercy Please did not opt for the tank item. He immediately went for the Abyssal. Wants to deal with that sniper, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of feel like he's already got him. Diffusal Blade, Scotty, but he's looking for something more. Just a very direct way to knock him out.
I mean, it pierces the BKB, so, you know,
Yeah,
just,
Scotty
just
does
to be
too.
on the safe side. Yeah, no, but just to be on the safe side, you know, lock him down and just don't leave any room for some sort of shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, he's still decently tanky just with a Scotty Manta. 2,500 HP is no joke, but I definitely think that the next item has to be at least bringing him evasion, if not bringing him raw health.
Yeah, I agree. I agree on that. Again, both teams falling back a bit, trying to farm up on a few items. I think it's just that VoidBoys... I mean, Leviathan, obviously, they are at a disadvantage here, and they're just waiting for VoidBoys to make a mistake. Whereas VoidBoys, I think they're in a position where they kind of have to force something, but at the same time, they don't want to make a mistake by running in blindly, because that's how they kind of pulled Leviathan back into the game in the meantime by, you know, giving away a few unnecessary kills. So I think they just want to make it played really, really, really safe.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that. I agree with the strategy up until the point where they didn't do anything with the Veno kill. Like, once they got the Venomancer kill and they were able to heal up the Poison Nova, I feel that's when you take at least a tier 2 tower. The fact that they didn't do that, I'd have to start disagreeing with their overall strategy, because eventually they have to have this game, they have to take towers and limit control of the map. It's not just like Eyes of the Forest or wards that gives proxy vision and ability to move across the map. These towers are the things that are protecting a decent fraction of Leviathan's side of the map. So these tier 2 should fall soon, and getting any hero pickoff should be the catalyst for that.
I agree. Looks like both teams want to fight this Roche now. Roshan actually pretty long respawn.
Yeah, just in time for the nighttime, really.
Jenkins, very far out. Don't do this again, Jenkins. Don't do it.
More gems. More gems for the side of VoidBoys, the sacrifice. He does get Carapace in his Firefly, but not really caring too much about that. Caring about Carapace, yeah. There's a joke in there, but I'm too tired for it.
Yeah. Nighttime hits. Now Fly is going to be in a really good position. Honestly, I think Leviathan should have done something during the daytime, if they wanted to do something, but looks... he can lie in waiting. When
Mega Poner with the double stun! He will not be able to do much more than that, but he already sets it up nicely, where Mercy Please is right in the thick of things. The Phantom Lancer now charging onto Shredder. He already used the Abyssal, but there's that Doppelganger. Just Phantom Rush, Phantom Rush, Phantom Rush. 1 down, 2 down, that's a triple. Oh, baby, he TP's away. Now it's going to be the jump in. Shibby bought back for this, and he will be able to clean up one more. This is 2 gems. Now in the hands of Leviathan. VoidBoys, they do have 1 off cooldown, and actually 1 more. I didn't see this, but it's actually Zeus hiding in the trees. He'll be picked off, and it's going to be a sacrifice for himself. A quick respawn thanks to those Bloodstone charges, but he is going to have to use the Suicide.
Honestly, I think Zeus should have suicided earlier to heal up his team, because that Venomancer ulti wrecked them, because it was a huge ulti. I think it hit everybody, and the Phantom Lancer died too. Obviously, I think it was, what was it? I think it was a mix of Firefly, Venomancer ult, and Gale or something. I don't know. It was basically everything, and yeah, I think the Zeus should have just committed suicide to heal up his whole team, because now they traded horribly. Sure, they got a kill on the sniper. Sure, they also forced out a buyback from the Storm Spirit, but you know, getting a kill on the Phantom Lancer is much more valuable at this point than getting a kill on, say, the Storm Spirit, for example. Yeah,
and I think he had almost like 18 charges there, so like, just doing the math on that, you're pretty much a full 100% full heal for everyone, and you can use that at the perfect time to get the full heal on the PL. Like, suddenly he doesn't have to TP out and he gets all 5, or even a 6 kill with the Storm Spirit buying back.
Yeah, so it was really unfortunate for VoidBoys, but luckily for them, Leviathan, since they did lose their sniper, were in no position to, for example, take Roche, because that would have been horrendous for VoidBoys if they had also lost the Roche. Another gem being bought by VoidBoys. I believe there's now 3 gems in play.
Yeah, 1 on Batrider, 1 on Storm Spirit, and 1 back on the Night Stalker.
Gonna be good.
BKB's the 6-item slot for Mercy Please. I'm sure he'll go for Diffusal Blade level 2 next, but you think this BKB... I mean, obviously he's got either Manta or Diffusal to break the Overgrowth, so it's mostly just to deal with the magic damage on himself.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue he's facing.
And Mjolnir, I guess, but yeah, magic damage. Flying Zebra getting silenced, he won't get the Poison Nova! Great Overgrowth, though, hitting on everybody. Mercy Please breaks through it, pops the BKB and goes, and Abyssal down Shredder. So down goes the Sniper, and Shibby's the last man really fighting this one out. Out of mana now, gets swapped back. Death of the Tree, Death of the Storm. And now Batrider, the one who wasn't even involved, just saying, hey guys, you need some help over there? No, it's going to be a lot of trees being cut, some wards being killed, and most importantly, the Roche being slain. Aegis only. This is Roche number 2, I believe. But still, hefty fight. And oh, Courier, don't do that against Night Stalker. Please don't try to Courier pick up a gem.
Especially when there's a Demon Edge on the Courier. Like, at least put the Demon Edge in the fountain.
Yeah. Right? But oh, look at this fight recap here. We do get to see 8,700 experience going the way of VoidBoys. 3 heroes in particular really benefiting from it. The Zeus, the Phantom Lancer, and the Vengeful Spirit. Venge is suddenly not only level 16, but almost beyond.
Oh, they tried to go for a kill on Jenkins here.
He blinked out right with the swap, though, and that the fact that he didn't Wave of Terror before the swap is what makes it so that he can just get that escape. So, in the end, the Aegis does go the way of the Dire, and it's actually going to be picked up by the Nyx Assassin, which is a pretty interesting decision, but, I mean, the Phantom Lancer, like we've been talking about, is 6-slotted.
Yeah, but to recap that fight, that was the perfect engagement from VoidBoys. They immediately jumped the Venomance and made sure that he didn't have any impact on the fight whatsoever. And, I mean, if you check the health bars on the Dire side after the fight, they were actually pretty low, even though Venomancer didn't do anything. Imagine if he had gotten his ult off. Yeah. That would have been horrendous again for VoidBoys. And just because there was not the additional amount of damage, Sniper was actually not able to kill off any hero. I guess he got the Night Stalker or something, but that was actually horrendous for them. And honestly, I don't think the BKB is that good of an item for the Phantom Lancer. I mean, sure, there's a lot of magic damage coming his way, but he might as well just go for something like the Heart to deal with that.
I would say Satanic, but yeah. I mean...
Oh, yeah, or the Satanic. But BKB, I don't know. I don't like it on the Phantom Lancer just because your illusions don't really benefit too much from it.
Yeah, it's just... I mean, the BKB is really nice against the Mjolnir damage, or the Veno damage. But this is not like a Veil of Discord Aghanim Scepter Venomancer, right? It's just a level 13 Veno throwing these out. This is a port Venomancer. He's not doing that much damage. It hurts. It certainly does. But I think he'd get more value out of the Satanic for sure. And that does stack with Diffusal Blade, guys. Don't start trying to flame on that note. That's a 6.83 classic right there.
But yeah, a really good fight for VoidBoys. But again, sure, they got the Roche, but they don't really gain any map control out of it. They didn't take any towers, and in the meantime, Trine has been lighting up this whole map thus far, so Night Stalker is going to be busy next night again.
Yeah. And he can't really pop Darkness right now, because he needs it for in case there is a fight that breaks out. This is probably the weakest point for Night Stalker right now in terms of actually getting map presence back. If they wait just like 3 minutes, oh, he pops it anyways. And 80 seconds, it's going to be a pretty painful daytime. But Leviathan, they're smoked, and they're going to try to go in, even though the Darkness Vision is really limiting their potential here. They don't see anything. The Dire see a lot. The smoke breaks loose, and I feel that VoidBoys can take this fight pretty easily. They're all in the choke point. They're all in a position. The Batrider gets the jump, needs to hit the Venge so she can't swap it, and that will be a quick kill on the Venge, but she gets the negative aura out, and Mercy Please, he jumps in, stunning out onto Shibby Please. Mercy Please pops the Manta, survives for the Overgrowth, and now kills off Nusham, but they're on the cliff. He has the Doppelganger to get up there, and he's gonna... Oh, no, he's gonna go on Shredder. Doing some good right-clicks to him. Shredder just can't get away. Phantom Rush, Scotty, locking him in. Now going for Shibby next. He is gonna go down as well. These BKBs, they can't stop the pursuit. You can't stop the rock, and this is gonna be PL just cleaning the entire fight up. Gems hitting the deck. 4 down for the count. Only the Venomancer living to tell the tale of what happened towards that top rune. And I just gotta wonder how they really thought that they could take a fight with that Spoken Seat. Like, maybe if they go up the top lane and they go this way, that's different. But going through that juncture up a ramp, and when they have Darkness, limiting their vision down to like 500 or 675, it just doesn't happen.
I think this was just a very desperate attempt. It was just one of these moments, guys, we have to make something happen. We have to find the kill, and they were getting impatient, I believe, because they were fearful of what this Phantom Lancer can do in the late game. But yeah, I completely agree. If they had gotten a different path, as you pointed out, that would have been a different fight. But they walked up 2 Rems, basically, and that's just asking for trouble. They were actually pretty lucky that it was VoidBoys that came down to them. I believe it was actually a very unfortunate positioning from VoidBoys, how they were very separated, and Phantom Lancer even jumped down, and Sniper was positioned actually very well, but, you know, at this point, VoidBoys is just outfarming them, so... Oh boy. That was rough on them. That was really rough on them.
Yep. Now the Zeus breaks out his Refresher Orb, he's back up to 19 Bloodstone charges, and beyond that, Defusal 2 is finished on the Phantom. So not only refreshing the charges, but suddenly 35 agility. That's more than your Butterfly. And yeah, he's looking pretty good for himself. But where else are we looking? The Lincoln still in progress for the Nyx Assassin. He's been waiting on that one for a while, but essentially you put that on the Venge, and then the Venge swaps anybody else that gets lassoed. It's actually difficult for the Batrider to deal with until he gets something like an Atos or a Yules to pop the Lincolns first.
I'm actually surprised that Leviathan keeps buying gems. Like, why don't they do this sort of Batrider smoking into the enemy base thing now? I mean, now there's like 2 gems lying around, because obviously VoidBoys have a bunch of them, but now they just keep buying the gems. I don't know.
Well, smokes are probably more valuable than 900 gold at this point in the game, just to get in against that Night Stalker. They do clear out some wards. I mean, it's just Flying Zebra's gold, right? He's bought 3 of them already. He doesn't need items.
But just imagine if he hadn't bought all these gems, he'd be sitting at a
2,700 now. Yeah, that definitely would be Aghanims, but
yeah. And just imagine the damage output from him in those teamfights. I mean, it's already pretty threatening towards the VoidBoys, just without the Aghanims. But imagine if he was level 16, had an Aghanims. The dream of any Venomancer.
Yeah, Nusham not doing his due diligence, not healing up the tier 2 up top, and Mercy Please will claim that. No trouble at all. He's going to be just running surplus gold at this point. He has buyback, he has 6 slots, and now he's like, what could I theory craft out here? Just go for a Daedalus, Butterfly, double E-Blade, maximum DPS? No, I don't know. It's just nonsense, really. But you could say a Refresher Orb. Refresher Orb actually could be good. Double BKB, double BOTs, double Abyssal.
Yeah, he's hitting that point where you have a career sitting near you and just having, you know, 12 slots eventually.
Yeah, I could see Refresher and Necro 3 always being good options.
No, Necro 3 would be good. I mean, it's really tough pushing in against this sort of lineup from Leviathan, right? So having Necro 3, I think, adds to that, and it's just a general nuisance. But looks like VoidBoys is just waiting for another Roche, it seems.
Yep, and just in the meantime, trying to break down the forest piece by piece. The Lorax would like to have a word with them, but for right now, they're just disenchanting this domain and trying to just claim it. Quelling Blade usage, back Quelling Blade usage. How do Leviathan try to engage this? Like, we saw their attempt up towards the top rune. That was not good. Oh, okay, finding a pick off on the Nyx Assassin is a great way to start. The Aegis was reclaimed earlier, and the Lincoln Sphere is not complete, so Eyes of the Forest, scouting it out, and I think the overgrowth at global range, essentially, was what started that off in their favor.
Yeah, and suddenly, VoidBoys, they just retreat, because they don't want to fight this at all, 4v5. And I think Leviathan, they needed this one. They needed.
He does go Refresher. Oh, yeah, Mercy Please. Oh, boy. Double Abyssal Blade, double BKB.
Question, is he going to carry it around on a courier, or is he gonna
it should be courier. His item slots are too valuable to not.
By the way, like, what kind of professional team has a donkey?
Really?
I mean, I just noticed it. But
it's rarer than the Jade Hoof, dude. It's bigger than a Platinum Roshan. Like, that's the most legit courier you'll need.
Maybe they're waiting for the T-Rex Void courier.
Oh yeah, that'll be the VoidBoys. Yeah. VoidBoys and their pet dinosaur.
That would be awesome. Oh well, looking at the graphs, I mean, the graphs are pretty much telling us the whole story of the game.
Minus the pause. I guess that's part of the story.
It's in there.
Yeah, that's the flat line around the 13-minute mark there. I guess that's part of the story, though. You can't take that chapter out.
Yeah. Fly building a Vladimir's. I like this.
Yeah.
But what do you drop out? Is it the urn?
Yeah, sure.
You can't really get rid of the Quelling Blade. You kind of need it to deward.
You don't need the urn. He drops a Quelling Blade? Trees? Cheer. They're gonna have to like force staff through every tree from this point forward.
Oh, I always miss that. Like every time I have to deward with a force staff, I miss it because of the pressure. Like my whole team's watching me and just like, dude, just deward it. And I'm like, oh, okay. I just missed it. Anyway, darkness popped and they're gonna go.
Here we go, Vendetta. Lurking in the shadows, looking for the opening. Chibi, Dota, the easiest pick, but they don't see him. They're looking around, they see some trees. Those are pretty cool, but they might see Nushem. No, Nushem is guised up outside of gem range. He was in Night Stalker's vision range, but gem is significantly shorter. I think it's like 800 range, 1100 actually. And that's not the 1800 you get from the Night Stalkers.
They're using the doppelganger to get rid of the trees now.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a short cooldown, 10 seconds, not bad. They see it, they do get it, okay.
Ooh,
sweet.
Yeah.
I didn't know how good that was, like how precise that was at breaking trees.
How reliant it is?
Yeah, exactly. I knew that it could, but I never considered it like a point target. Trees are gone.
And that was a darkness wasted. They didn't really get anything out of it. They tried to be aggressive, but they didn't really find a kill. And
but
I think this is
you're missing the point, man. It's spooky. Okay, it's too spooky for them.
And they're asserting dominance. Hey guys, we're in your jungle, yo.
Yeah, they didn't get anything out of that actually. There's still so many trees. There's so many eyes. The Illuminati is watching from every corner.
Honestly, yeah, there's a Quelling Blade on the Nyx now. They need it. Speaking of needing things, there's a Roshan with a cheese and an Aegis.
Who even bothers dropping slots for this though? Like the Zeus doesn't need either of those.
I think at this point you give both things to the Venge, right?
Yeah, I suppose so. What you do is you wait for one more Roche after this one, and then you put 2 cheeses on the PL, and then he uses a refresher and his cheese on the courier, so that he can cheese twice in the fight.
I like how paranoid Omega Pona is. He was actually so sure that one of these trees was a tree and ward, and he even pinged it to get vision from the Zeus, and he was like, dude, there's no tree, and he dewarded it anyway.
Let me check. He might be running the Timbersaw announcer pack. He's just having whispers in his ears about the darkness of the trees, but no. Man, this game.
This game. I think both teams are just playing chicken. They're not really, like, VoidBoys just don't want to go in.
It's the opposite of chicken, right? Like chicken, you keep on getting closer and closer to something happening, and then one person flinches and that doesn't happen. This is the opposite. We get closer and closer to things not happening, and maybe one will get bored.
Boy. But do you really want to give this much time to Leviathan? Because I think when it comes to, like, super late game, when every hero has 6 slots, I think that's when Leviathan's lineup is stronger, right?
Yeah, but
just because the Venomancer is gonna offer a lot, and
shibby. Courier snipe. What was on that courier? We've got a lot of stuff. Quelling Blades, of course. Quelling Blades. Oh, the Lincoln's Fair. Omega Pona has been farming this Lincoln's for an hour and a half, and it's down for 3 more minutes, thanks to the snipe. Oh, this Nyx assassin game is so sad.
I believe with this, he just stalled this game for like another hour or so.
Oh my.
I don't know. Feels like it.
That Ripple.
Well, looks like they're gonna go down the mid lane. Well, they do have Aegis and Cheese.
Alright, nighttime plus darkness. Yeah, this is their time to the opposite of shine.
Chibi is back to full mana. Only 5 Bloodstone charges though. Poor fella.
Weak. Yeah, and I agree with what you're saying. Giving Leviathan time to get 6 slotted, in theory, is a bad thing. But really, how is a tree gonna get those items? Like, he's got his Ags, his Yules. Is he gonna like go into Refresher and then start farming both jungles at once with the double overgrowth? Like, what are we looking at here? I don't know.
I mean, he's building towards the Refresher. He's not.
Oh, Flying Zebra gets abyssaled. Mercy Please finds a pick off. It does cost him BOTs though. And he's gonna have to run down to the mid lane if they wanna. Yeah, who am I kidding? They're not going to end the game.
Yeah. Well, actually, they might take this tier 2 bottom, which has been standing there forever. Like the Venomance is not going to be able to defend it.
I don't know. There's like 1,000 overgrowths right nearby. It's dangerous.
Yeah, it looks like they're not going to go for it. VoidBoys, why? Why?
Free towers, please.
Yeah, I mean, he can't do anything without the Lincolns on the Mega Pauna. I bet he's going and he's like a TC. Oh, guys, I can't do anything without my Lincolns. Please, please wait.
Needs those blue balls, but yeah, I actually like theory crafted the idea of like if the tier 1 tower is still up at this stage, you don't kill it so that they don't get the glyph refreshed if it's on cooldown. But tier 2 is no excuse. They're just mucking about now. Now we've got the giant army of Lancers. Go do some damage to the tier 3 before it gets living armored. We've got all the recipes for...
Oh, nice play. Holy crap, that was so well executed.
The swap. The force swap. Now BKB coming out from Jenkins. The Poison Nova only hitting on Mercy, please. And a lasso and illusion on Zeus. Oh, the illusion rune from Zeus. Nusham gets silenced. It's all falling apart, people. Nusham going down for the count. Buybacks for everybody, but double ulti coming out. The overgrowth hits on pretty much everyone here with that, the trees, but in the end, that just forces them back. The engagement there from VoidBoys was actually so sound. It's so sick.
They used the cheese on the Phantom Lancer. They want to go back in.
They're looking for it. Getting some illusions up here. Just trying to finish that tier 3 before he gets healed back up to full. Nusham taking some big hits, but he can't run from these damn illusions. Jenkins lasso on cooldown. Flame Break and the Napalm is all he's bringing here. Schwan going low. Ghost Scepter only saves you for so long. And it's going to be Shibby to bring him down. But can they kill Shibby now? He gets stunned by the Impale. Now hit by the Abyssal, and he's down as well. No ultimates, really, on the side of Leviathan. Just that Assassinate to spam out. But VoidBoys have to be wary of that buyback potential for the Storm. Buying back from the Fountain, full mana bar, not good. And it's actually going to be coming out sooner rather than later as they're all the way back into their tier 3 once again. Lejenkins taking tons of damage here. He can narrowly escape. Mercy, please. And there's the buyback. Shibby jumping in, but dodging both ball lightnings. Even the auto attack is doppeled. But finally the Hex connects, and this should be the death of our 8,000 gold Phantom Lancer. So, in the end, we've got a buyback on Storm, a buyback on Sniper, as well as the Treant Protector. We've got the tier 3 getting healed back to full thanks to the fortification and glyph.
It was at 10 HP at some point. They just needed to punch it once, and they didn't.
And then the Phantom Lancer is sitting in timeout for about 70 seconds here, popping one cheese. This game, dude. I mean, if you look at Leviathan's lineup, they have so much turtle. They are actually in a position to make this a 2-hour game.
For sure, for sure. And honestly, VoidBoys is in a position where they can actually finish this game in the next, I want to say 30 minutes, just because if they don't find crucial pickups before they push high ground, they're just going to run into the same issues. And honestly, this wasn't even an ideal fight for Leviathan because they got a crappy...
Oh, it was a terrible fight. They got torn apart, but to buy back Dota, they popped 3 and they still survive. But what then? They want to force the Phantom Lancer buyback? 35 seconds on the cooldown. The Refresher Orb also unavailable. They know this. What do they do? But yeah, I mean, Jenkins... Lasso's a illusion rune of the Zeus. Strider dies immediately. Like, how worse can a fight begin? And yet, the buybacks, the living armor, and they try to go for the reset. Now they're trying to go in for the all-in, but PL definitely has money. That's certainly not a problem he's going to have this game.
And they're not going to force out the buyback. He doesn't need to buy back. They can, I mean, look at Leviathan. They can't do this, and they're going to retreat. That's going to be rinse, repeat.
Oh, as long as they can turtle for 5 more minutes, they can get their buybacks back. That's the important thing. Cheer on for Turtle Dota.
Is back to full health.
Is it? Yeah, it is. Suddenly tier 3 is perfectly fine, and Captain Kunkka of Ginyu Force, number 420, is safe and sound for the moment.
It's like nothing happened, basically. If you look at the map, literally, it's like this last fight didn't happen. I know what OD Pixel feels like now. Literally, this is the same game, basically. Oh my god.
Oh boy. But it is nighttime. Sneaking around. Darkness active. Smoke at his seat. Looking for the jump. Anybody farming the jungle.
It's gonna be a different game because now, different fight because now they have the Lincolns on the Nix.
Yeah. And again, oh, the Lincoln Sphere. It's too strong, man. It is the lasso breaker. Put that on the Venge, you win the game. But I actually dig the offensive use of the lasso, or the swap there. That was pretty sweet. Now breaking out the smoke, you know, at the line of scrimmage. And Plague Wards keep getting spammed out. So now it's going to be the slow siege, Manta, Doppelganger, stuff like that. He's actually going to hold the Manta just in case he gets overgrowth. And that means only Spirit Lance and Doppel Illusions are here to push it out.
Wouldn't he also purge his DD if he used Manta?
I
think it purges.
No, I think only BKB does, but there is a chance, but
I don't know. I guess he just didn't need to use it.
I think immunity purges runes and dispels allied dispels do not.
Okay. Anyway, looks like they're just going to push down the bottom lane. I mean, they're still a tier 2 standing, so they might as well take this one.
So the Phantom Lancer actually dropped his Diffusal, didn't even... Oh, no, he actually sold it. Or maybe it's in base. Yeah, it's in base, along with 2 gems and a refresher. Oh my gosh, if the Bat Rider went for the Fountain now with Smoke of Deceit, that would be hilarious. Hey, a
Honestly,
refresher!
It would be a legit strategy. I mean... Well, I guess he can't
Double
really know
gem?
that there's a refresher, but still...
Yeah, he has no idea, but that's a refresher, a diffusal 2, and double gem. He could just, but he'd have to empty his inventory. He'd like be sitting there messing with his stash for like 10 seconds. Oh, down goes the tier 2 tower, the one that held it all together for bottom lane. Okay, so yeah. Anyways, he dropped his diffusal 2. He got a Satanic. Is he better for the fight? Is he worse? I see less damage, less utility, but it is a Satanic.
Again,
Jenkins going for Mercy, please. Can he find the real one? No, he cannot. Hype. Destroyed.
Jenkins, however, he's being jumped upon.
Zeus Lightning Bolt? No, he didn't. He tried to refresh or blink, I think, and it just didn't connect.
Yeah.
Maybe a walk through fire in the flames, and then no blink.
Yeah, I think he should have dropped his BKB. I don't see his BKB working out for him, honestly. I mean, I guess yeah, it's nice to also when you're overgrowth, when you're in the overgrowth that
you can diffusal that off too. Like I would justify that purging that off is the same. I guess you might be up against 2 though. I don't know. What I will say is that if he has the refresher with him, then the BKB is the more valuable. Plain and simple. But I won't say that he's obviously not carrying that. He's leaving in the fountain. We actually see Shibby taking the mana burn, but Omega Poner, Lincoln's, will it save him? He's actually taking a lot of damage, but Schwann's their target instead. They're gonna just jump away as quick as they can be. Storm Spirit with the mana regen, trying to get away, and that big overgrowth from Dusham from global range. They're actually walking away from this one, but there might be 1 or 2 casualties. Flying Zebra looks to be going down. You just don't run from Lancer. And there it is, Nusham getting caught out as well. TP cancelled, and rip. 100 seconds, no Treant. 60 seconds, no Venomancer. Is this GG? Find out on the next episode of Dota 2.
This should be GG.
Yeah.
Honestly, like Leviathan can't take this team fight. Like they can't fight outside of the base, and they did. They dropped.
Oh, yes, he cancels the TP! Omega Poner with the Blink Carapace! Now Stone Spirit going and ballowing and TPing at the same time. He's back at the fountain. Clears out the creep wave, but it's actually Jenkins caught outside the base thanks to Omega Poner's Carapace. Oh, buddy. Can't get in. Won't be able to lasso the PL, and thus the tier 3 are under siege. No living armor, only glyph. And I think this is going to be Elena Rax. I feel it, Skim.
There's going to be some progress. But you never know, there's a sniper. He can do sniper stuff.
He's out of shrapnel. No more ho-ho, ha-ha. None of that nonsense. Racks are gone.
Then they might actually go for, yeah. They're going to go for a second lane of Racks.
But Jenkins is here this time. Getting mana up is all he needs to do. He's fireflying stuff. Killing wards. Get mana. Get lasso. No, it's going to be the swap on a Shredder. This is going to be it. He does have buyback. He's going to have to use it immediately as he gets picked off. And is now back into the game. And he assassinates. We've got some Veil. We've got some damage. Schwann going down. But now the Phantom Lancer is in the fight. Mercy, please. Going on Shibby. Oh, boy. Just disengage Dota. They walk away with a tier 3 tower. 2, in fact. And they do take down the mid melee. Roche is up. Cheese is there.
This is going to be nasty for Leviathan if VoidBoys pick up this Aegis and the cheese on top of that. I think they have to fight this, yeah, and I think they realize this as well. They can't really give away Roche at this point, and looks like they're gonna smoke, I believe. Yeah, they're gonna smoke up and try to go for a kill here. Well, this is difficult. Even though there's no Venge, it's still gonna be really difficult.
Checking out some graphs. Yeah, we got the game. We got the Roche attempt. Smoke now kind of just reveal themselves. BKB pop from Jenkins. Looking for the Mercy. Please, he gets hexed. They're going to kill off the Phantom Lancer. They will probably force buyback this time. And yeah, he buys it immediately. He's BOTing. Where's he BOTing? Down to the bottom tier 2. They can doppel into the pit, but they need some AoE control. Where's that Nyx Assassin? Omega Poner is on the run. Fly cops an Assassinate, but Shibby keeps going. BKB! Shibby gets stunned. Shibby's locked down. Going down. Yeah, the living armor. The BKB out. He balls to the low ground. They will pursue. Just right-clicking him down bit by bit. His 15 armor. Mana burning what he has left. In the meantime, Shredder is dying to the PL. Shredder is diebacked. He's gone. New Sham's gone. The Storm is gone. Has buyback, but he can't defend this alone. Screw Roshan. Go for the throne. Go for the win. VoidBoys here. 71 minutes. 25,000 gold. 10,000 experience. Game 1 of a best of 3.
70 minutes, and what a game, man. What a game. Honestly, I mean, yeah, I think VoidBoys could have closed it earlier, but ultimately I think it was also Leviathan who just played it really well. Like, that high ground defense, sure, they abused the buybacks, but they just played it, I think, very well. And oh god, I need to recover from this.
Seriously, dude, I've been casting since 11 o'clock in the morning. It is now 10 p.m. It's 11 hours for you guys, and yeah. I thought I caught myself a break when two games overlapped and I didn't have to cast game 1 of the previous match, but they just make it that much more difficult for me with some DDoS plus OD Pixel Purge treatment. Oh boy. VoidBoys victory, going game 2, and we will be concluding this like 13-hour streaming marathon in hopefully the next game, but we'll see. Leviathan, look to bring it back, look to bring it to the equalizer, and extend it to match point. But thank you guys so much for tuning in here to the Red Bull American pre-qualifier for their Battleground, and that is going to be Blaze Casting as well as Skim Gaming. Signing off for now. We'll bring you guys game 2 in just a few minutes.